beautiful. You talk about the skills of being able to think on your feet and being able to react immediately. What are some of the other skills that one needs to perform at the level that you do? Because I'm certain that it can't be easy, and especially when there's so much pressure.
I suppose it's you get used to it over time. You can't sweat the small stuff. And like I say, you plan to precision, and then once you've done that, you let it go, because you've done all the planning and you're done. And now you just roll with the punches, and you've got to be really flexible. I mean, you've always got to deliver. You've got to be consistent in what you do. You've got to be tenacious. I'd say being deliberate is a really, really good quality to have. And you can never communicate enough. If you think you've communicated enough, just do it one more time, because it's that consistency of message as well. You've always got to think differently. And we say at Investec, think out of the box, think out of the ordinary. What are different ways of approaching and whatever is come through to you? Focus, be present right now. Don't worry about anything else. Focus on right now. What do you need to do now? What is happening around you? And the team and your support are your greatest allies. You do nothing alone in this industry, and in fact in the world. You do nothing alone. So if you've got the skilled team behind you, and that communication of everybody knows their role and everybody gets on with it, that trust, the skills that you rely on that other people bring to the party, celebrate your small wins, deal with it, get over the mistakes and move on, and then have fun.
Oh, absolutely beautiful. So well said. I would like for us to now focus on sport sponsorship. How has this completely changed since the early 2000s until around about 2010 to where we are right now in 2022? How has the role of sports sponsorship completely changed?
Sure. I mean, I only got into sports sponsorships in the latter part of that time frame, so I really can't speak to the earlier days, but I think what you saw in those days and leading up to where we are now is sponsorships on a really grand, large scale, mass activations, mass participation, perceptively large spend. And I say perceptively, I think it was really large spend in the sponsorship space. I mean, you just had to look at some of the rugby jersey prices as an example. I mean, there's been well documented what some people paid for that and what they're now paying for that. So, I mean, it really was a huge market with a lot of focus and a lot of money going around, prices through the roof, a lot of competition to get the top teams, a lot of competition to get that global TV coverage and that mass participation. So I think that's kind of the space where we came out of. COVID changed all of that. It really leveled the playing field. We had some really, really lean years. These last 2 years have been quite tough. A lot of sponsorships were cancelled, they were terminated, simply not renewed. I mean, we had some in our own portfolio as well. They'd come to their natural end and not renewed for various reasons. Many activations, sports simply couldn't take place globally, locally. It was a very, very difficult time for sponsorships. There wasn't money. You've got to make those tough calls in business. Do you keep the payroll going so that your staff can still get salaries at the end of the month, or do you cancel sponsorships? And it's a tough decision to make, because there's pros and cons, obviously, of having the sponsorships and the reasons why you went into them in the first place. Spectator sports flourish when you can watch elite athletic display. I mean, that's what people want. You want to have fans cheering in stadiums, and then you get financial support from broadcasters, from sponsors, and kind of in this paradigm, then sport is king, and that's where we came from, and that's where we're going back into. COVID, spectatorless stadiums, even when the sport started, it was horrible. It was horrible to watch a game, even when it was 2,000 people in a stadium, and it was horrible. You just like, I feel so sad for the players, and I feel so sad for us not being able to have all of that passion and that human connection. So there was a stark contrast, from those mass participation and big days of sport. COVID affected every aspect of sports marketing, that traditional business sports marketing model that you've got. And I mean, that is basically, sports federations will host an event, the fans will buy tickets, the media and partners will invest in broadcasting rights, companies will leverage that platform to boost awareness or entrench brand associations, entertain clients, whatever the objectives are. And this is all done through sports sponsorships. So it's a lucrative business model. I think we all breathing a huge sigh of relief that sports have opened up again and that we can get back into the business of sports sponsorships and all that comes with it.
Definitely. What are some of the trends that you are currently keeping an eye on, specifically in your current role of being the sponsorship and events and operations coordinator for Investec?
Yeah, it's quite an involved role. It sounds ridiculous, but they are all very intertwined. It's all for the group marketing space, and they're all in marketing, so they do link and intertwine and they cross over each other, which is really exciting. I'd say, keeping track of trends is I rely heavily on the skilled people that I work with. Be it my colleagues at Investec, and through the agencies and suppliers that we rely on, that we engage with, and that we partner with. I mean, each one is a specialist in their own area, and it gives us a huge advantage. You can't know everything. So to have oversight of the skills and expertise and the experience of others, and then obviously following news, following groups, being present online, watching trends in the market, you weave it all together and hopefully stay within the conversation.
Definitely. Let's talk a little bit about gratitude. What are you thankful for your successful career at Investec?
Sure. That Investec likes me as much as I like them. They've kept me for 18 years. Investec's it truly is a company. We've just been nominated for the top the top company in 2022 on LinkedIn. But it's truly a company that allows you, in fact, welcomes you, expects you to come as your authentic self. So, your view, your lenses, your personality, along with the skills and experience, obviously, that you bring to the table are all valued. And not only valued, it's, as I say, it's expected. You lean in and be part of the conversation. So it might not be for everyone, but it's, our personalities matched and we liked each other and we've stayed with each other. So through the good and the bad and the lean. So it's really just it's almost like a perfect marriage. I mean, I absolutely love being at Investec, and fortunately they have reciprocated and love me. I've made lifelong friends at Investec. I've met incredible humans. It's part of I say that's it's our intellectual property. It's the people that are part of Investec. So you really get to deal with a diverse grouping of fundamentally amazing and bizarre human beings. I've grown, I've learned, I've lived. I've made unforgettable memories along the way. And I mean, the best is it's not even over. It feels like it's just started.
Yep, absolutely beautiful. And I'm certain that amazing relationship, as you call it, a marriage, will continue for many, many years to come. You're locked onto the Sport MVT Insider, a podcast for unrelenting coverage of women in sport. I absolutely love diving deeper into the journeys of our athletes, coaches, and administrators to get to know them a little bit better than we do. Coming up this Wednesday is an interesting round of quick fire questions, a great opportunity for some good laughs and some great banter. Keep it locked onto Sport MVT, where we celebrate our women in sport.